In the 90s, trolls were the bomb. I think I had at least 40 of them prominently displayed on my childhood bedroom walls. I'm still collecting trolls today, but it's not the kind you like. You see, I'm a meteorologist here in Oklahoma at the NBC affiliate KFOR-TV News 4, ding. And I absolutely love my job. Do you like my uniform? Just kidding. This was submitted by a viewer on social media, and I want to tell you that at least 98% of the viewers, I would estimate, are awesome online, or at least neutral. It's only that 2% that can cause issues, and sometimes that's all it takes to sting. Now, I love my job here. I've been here for 8 years, and I get to cover some of the craziest weather on earth, as you all probably know from firsthand experience. And you would think my talk would be about storm chasing, tornadoes, or women in science, technology, engineering, and math, which I'm very passionate about. But there's some other topic that was tugging at my heart that I feel needs to be talked about now more than ever. Everyone is so polarized online and really in our nation, and it's showing up on our Twitter feeds, on our Facebook walls, on Instagram, and all social media. That's why I decided the topic, Don't Feed the Trolls, how to handle jerks on social media. Yeah, so this topic, I think, hopefully will apply to everybody. I tried to do a little bit of research on this, and first I want to do a quick poll from all of you. No matter what your political affiliation, raise your hand if you would say you've noticed a dynamic shift towards negativity since the last election. Yeah, I think almost everyone's hand went up. And so you've noticed as well. And so I wanted to do some research on this topic, and I found there isn't a lot of research on this topic. In the scheme of things, Facebook hasn't been around that long, and Twitter's hasn't even been around that long as well. So there hasn't been a long period of time to study things. Second of all, it requires on trolls self-reporting themselves, which a lot of people don't want to admit to nasty behavior. So I did find some research, and by the way, for the purpose of this talk, let's define a troll as someone who's trying to get a rise out of you, who's trying to press your buttons, or trying to take you off topic. So that being said, one more poll. Who here would say they've ever been trolled before then? By someone. It could be a family member. It doesn't have to be a stranger. And I think that's happened a lot as well. I don't know which one's worse. So according to YouGov, a survey of 1,100 American adults, 28% admitted to malicious online activity directed at somebody they didn't know. In other words, about a third of them admitted to being a troll. And what's so wild is 45% of them admitted to not knowing what a troll was. So sometimes we may be doing it and not even knowing it. What was the top thing they trolled about? Shocker, politics. Number 2, news. And 3, religion. So I wanted to find out more about the history of trolls as well. I thought it was about the ugly troll under the bridge that asks you a riddle before you can pass. I don't know if you remember that childhood one. It's actually about this. Hi, Dad. No, my dad's not a troll. But he's an avid fisherman, and he taught me how to fish growing up. And there's something when you cast the line, or you can have multiple lines, and then you drive the boat really slow. It's called trolling. And it's when the bait moves and in hopes of fooling the fish, and the fish will catch on. So this totally clicked to me. This is exactly what people do on social media, right? They're casting a line, and they're trying to get you to do something. Usually they want negative attention, right? So they're just trying to get you to bite. But that's simply not the case. All right, so how about this? Watch you Monday through Friday, noon. I've noticed something I think you need to know. Your tops are too tight. By the way, things are usually grammatically incorrect and not spelled right, and it's usually not a picture for the profile picture. And something's wrong with your bras. You look like you have balls for boobs. You are flat above your boobs. Sorry. I wrote back, thanks for really watching. What are they supposed to look like? So Given my job, I may get a little bit more trolling than others, and sometimes they are funny like this. But I reflected on all the times I've been trolled and tried to come up with a list of how to respond. And I've learned a lot in this process. One, just from the research and the history of it, but two, now I will think more about it myself before I respond, and I'm hoping that this will help you as well. I, first of all, would not claim myself to be an expert in this area, but I do have about 10 years of experience being occasionally trolled. And I will tell you, I'm also not perfect. Sometimes you'll see me not always respond in a perfect way, and that's because I'm human and we all have chinks in our armor. I have to get a tough skin for my job, but sometimes I'm not perfect. So one, wait. We have all learned this, right? If you at work or school have to write an email back to someone and it's a little harsh, right? It's always better to wait before you hit the send button. Or maybe you've gotten an argument with your partner and the first things that spew out of your mouth from your brain, not a good idea. So wait is your best thing. Let it simmer. Two, the best thing to do is ignore. Hence the title, Don't Feed the Trolls. Hopefully if you don't feed them, they're going to go somewhere else. So if you think of fishing then, if they catch you and get a hook in your mouth, and even if they release you back, you still may have a scar. So that's a good idea. You definitely want to ignore them. I am lucky enough to have this online community on Facebook. It's called Female Broadcast Meteorologists, and all of us get to go on there and post our different trolling experiences. And it's great because we rally around each other, and sometimes you need that person to put rational sense into your head. And hopefully for all of you, if something does happen and you do get trolled, you have someone to be that person for you. But I also told them I was doing this talk and asked them, what do you do? And the number one response was ignore them. And then two, they said, kill them with kindness or do something funny. Maybe share a funny GIF. So kill them with kindness is good. One female meteorologist said, yeah, but you can do that, but sometimes we have hard days and wine helps too. Okay, so how about this one? Hey, Emily, you're not great of a weather person. You stink. Have a blessed day, Bradley. Thanks for watching. So I tried to kill him with kindness there. Next, you may want to educate. If someone posts something and it's just straight up wrong, incorrect, and for me, if it's in my wheelhouse, if I am confident with knowing the topic, like weather or science, I will respond, hopefully in a professional manner, and educate them. Here's an example. It's kind of a long one, but your use of adjectives is mind-boggling. Saying this rain was beneficial, saying other rain is not. Saying rain event sounds like something you need tickets to. Why does weather need to be sensationalized? Weather's the only real thing the media has anymore, and you still manage to screw it up. Calm down. It's rain. A bit dramatic, right? Also, it spent him probably a good 2 minutes writing that. That's how upset he was about me sensationalizing rain. I wrote back, the rain is especially beneficial right now because we are in a drought. So the term beneficial pertains to the timing. I want to point out that you are incorrect because sometimes rain is not beneficial when the ground is saturated. It can cause flooding and damage farmland. And then I posted the drought monitor to prove that we are in a drought. Two, the term event in meteorology pertains to a storm system. It's not a sensationalized term. I will try to not say event because non-meteorologists can misinterpret this term. Snark. Three, how did I screw it up? What do you do for a living? I'd love to criticize it. Just kidding, I wouldn't do that to a stranger. What? Perk up, Buttercup, it's Friday. Thanks for watching, and I hope you have a blessed Easter weekend. So in this one, I tried to educate and do a little bit of humor. At least you guys thought it was funny. And then, also be kind at the end. So that's one example. Next, stand your ground. Sometimes it's okay to disagree. Just caution, word of caution. Remember, if they're baiting you, they may just be intentionally trying to get a rise out of you. But sometimes you just need to say, no, this is how I feel. This is another female meteorologist. She actually posted this in our group, like I was talking about earlier. And it was only a few weeks ago. I said, hey, can I share this in my TED Talk? She said, sure. So someone said, please burn that dress you wore this morning. She said, sorry, I love this dress too much. Good for her. And they wrote back, now I feel like a donkey. Sorry, my boss is here. And I doubted that it even got read. Have a great Sunday. Thank you for doing the weather report. So sometimes you just have to show that we are real people so that other people hopefully will remember, this person will remember next time, ooh, maybe I shouldn't write something so mean because they'll actually read it and I'll feel bad. For me, I have one thing that I may be brash about, and I almost think of it as an educational or PSA moment. Yeah. So, my 2-year anniversary is coming up, and here in Oklahoma, I should have a baby by now. No, I'm kidding. But I get bothered because, yes, I like to eat right and I do like working out, but some days I eat a burrito, my stomach pooches out the next day. Maybe I didn't wear Spanx. Maybe I'm wearing a flowy dress. Well, that doesn't make me pregnant. So it does drive me bonkers. And on a personal level, I have come home to my husband crying before because I'm just like, what can I do? I'm not going to starve myself. And I do take that personally. And I do try and step back and think, all right, these people are just hopeful for good news, and they are not necessarily trying to say something about my weight. So, Emily, are you expecting you got a little bump? ... question mark. It's always a good start to your Monday when you get this. Nope, just gained a few pounds at Christmas. Honestly, my reproductive parts are none of your business. Thanks for watching. Well, excuse me. And then this lady steps in. I don't know this person. Kay Johnson. Way to go, Kay. Yay and amen, Emily. Way to go. Just because you are out there and in front of us every day doesn't mean that we should be privy to your private personal information. Keep up the good work. So that was awesome for her. Another lady, I just asked, dang, don't get your drawers, I think drawers, upset. Shoot, man, I watched Channel 9. Burn. So, and I haven't been always this harsh. I've actually done plenty of posts before. Jennifer Aniston had a great post in Huffington Post where she had this article saying, you know, it's not our place to ask other people. I had a lady come up to me at the gym and she said, hey, my friend loves every time you write back because she's had multiple miscarriages and it's heartbreaking when someone asks her if she's pregnant. Or my best friend, I was with her this summer after she, at 12 weeks, had a miscarriage. And I can't imagine how devastating it would be for someone to say, oh, look at your tummy. Do you have a baby bump? You have a baby there? I mean, you don't know someone's situation. Maybe someone really is praying and hoping for a baby and trying, and then you ask, when are you going to have your kid next? That's devastating as well. All right, so next, block or report. This talk is not about, it's about trolls, but it's not about hate speech or inappropriate activity, bullies. That should not be tolerated. My coworker, Allie Meyer, and good friend, she did a controversial story a few years back, and someone actually put this online. It's a video game kind of image with her face everywhere and a gun. That's terrifying. That should be reported to the police immediately. And what's so sad, I find, look at that. It was liked 34 times and retweeted 6 times. I don't know how someone has it in them to do something like that. Finally, empathize and learn. So let's go back to Bradley. I know, it's funny, right? So I thought it was funny. I posted it on my Instagram. I kept his name out. But I posted it because sometimes I just want friends and other people to know that people do this, and I think it's kind of funny. And people found him, the comment on Facebook, and then started trolling him back. And then he started trolling back. He kept fighting. Normally they back down, but he kept fighting. They kept going. And then it got to the point where he turned around and begged me. He said, I'm sorry, Emily, but I'm getting threats. Please take the post down. And I was like, you posted it. But and then I had an email the next day from someone who said, Emily, I'm sure you're a great person. I love watching you, but you need to know that this person has been bullied his entire life. He has learning disabilities. And a few years ago, he talked about taking his life. And that made me realize, whoa, that Even the trolls are real people, and we need to think about where they're coming from sometimes. And I've found that now thinking that way has spilled over into my day-to-day life. And then if somebody does something mean or rude, I try and think, you know what, they're having a bad day, or who knows where they're coming from. So hopefully that will help you as well. But it helps to learn from people and have empathy for even the trolls as well. Finally, are you a troll? I need you to search deep down in your soul. I said about a third of Americans in that study. There's 1 billion people on Facebook. That would be 300 million people who have trolled before out there, if that's the stat, if it relayed. So what my simple statement is for you, if you wouldn't say something to someone in person, don't say it online. Oftentimes we use a screen, a phone screen, a computer screen as a guise. But there are real people behind that. And if you have an issue with someone, why don't you direct message them instead of putting it out for the world to see, and say it in a nice way. And finally, I watched a TED Talk about the power of positivity. And I loved this idea of every day post something nice to someone else online. And I would encourage everyone here to do this challenge. In the month of February, every day, let's try and post something nice to someone else. It could be a stranger, it could be a business, it could be a friend, every day, so we can spread kindness and positivity. Use the hashtag #BeKind. So don't be a troll, don't feed the trolls, and hashtag #BeKind. Thank you.